It was a dark and stormy night when the body was found. Detective John Smith was the first on the scene, and he knew right away that this was going to be a tough case. The victim was a young woman, brutally murdered in her own home. Detective Smith immediately began gathering evidence and interviewing potential witnesses. He quickly learned that the victim, Jessica Thompson, was a successful businesswoman with no known enemies. She lived alone and kept to herself, so there were no obvious suspects. As the investigation progressed, several leads emerged. One of Jessica's co-workers reported a strange man hanging around the office in the days leading up to her death. Another neighbor claimed to have seen a suspicious car parked outside her house the night of the murder. But despite these leads, the case remained unsolved. Detective Smith was determined to crack the case, but it seemed like every time he thought he was getting close, something would happen to throw him off track. As the weeks turned into months, the case grew colder and colder. But Detective Smith never gave up. He kept re-interviewing witnesses and re-examining evidence, determined to find the killer. Finally, a breakthrough came in the form of a new piece of evidence. A fingerprint was found at the crime scene that matched a man named Michael Williams. He had a history of violence and was known to have a grudge against Jessica. Detective Smith brought Michael in for questioning and was able to get a full confession out of him. He was finally able to close the case and bring justice to Jessica's family. But as the trial began, new evidence surfaced that suggested Michael may have been acting on the orders of a higher power. A mysterious figure known only as the boss was rumored to have ordered the hit on Jessica. Detective Smith was determined to find out who the boss was and bring him to justice, but the trail went cold. The case was closed, but the true mastermind behind the murder was never found. The stormy night may have passed, but the mystery and crime still lingers in the air, and Detective Smith is still on the lookout for the real perpetrator, the true boss who ordered the murder. So what do you think? Who was the boss that killed Jessica?